When you think of a crab, you think of one thing: claws. Big, powerful, crushing claws. They're the crab's signature weapon, its whole identity. But what if a crab evolved to have useless claws? This is the boxer crab. And if you look closely, it's not only tiny, but its claws are a joke. They're small, weak, and have zero crushing power. They're basically just little grippers. And yet, this is one of the most successful and weirdly armed animals on the entire reef. Because if you look even closer, you'll see it's not empty-handed. It's holding something. In each claw, it's holding a tiny living pom-pom. Those are not pom-poms. They are sea anemones. And those sea anemones are loaded with thousands of microscopic, venom-filled stinging harpoons. This crab is not a brawler, it's a thief. It has found a way to outsource its defense by kidnapping two of the most venomous animals on the reef and carrying them around like a pair of biological, living venom gloves. So, why did evolution create a tiny armored animal whose only strategy is to take hostages? This is the scary and brilliant biology of the boxer crab. First, you have to understand the boxer crab's core problem. It's a snack. It's a tiny, bite-sized crab living in one of the most dangerous places on Earth, the coral reef. Everything wants to eat it. And as we've established, its own claws are useless for defense. It can't fight, it can't crush, it can't even pinch that hard. So, it had an evolutionary choice. Spend millions of years maybe evolving its own venom and spines, or just go steal some. It chose to steal. And its target is the sea anemone. The anemone is basically a stationary flower made of stinging cells called nematocysts. If you've ever been stung by a jellyfish, you know what these are. Each tentacle is a minefield of spring-loaded harpoons that fire on contact, injecting a painful, paralyzing venom. For most fish, the anemone is a giant, pulsating, do not touch sign. The boxer crab saw this sign and thought, I want that. So, here's what it does. It finds the exact right kind of small, potent anemone. And it doesn't just ask. It will literally use its tiny, specialized claws to carefully, and I'm sure the anemone would say aggressively, pry the anemone off the rock it's clinging to. And then it holds it, one in each claw, forever. Its useless claws, it turns out, are not useless at all. They have evolved to be the perfect anemone holders. This creates one of the weirdest and most effective partnerships in the ocean. The crab gets a 360-degree venomous shield. The second, a fish like a grouper or an eel gets too close, the crab doesn't try to pinch it. It just waves its anemones in the predator's face. It's literally boxing with two venomous gloves. The predator, not wanting a mouthful of stings, instantly backs off. The crab has become a walking, armored nope sign. But what does the anemone get out of this? Why doesn't it just sting the crab? This is a true symbiotic relationship. The crab is immune to the sting, and the anemone, which is normally glued to a rock for its entire life, suddenly gets to move. It gets a free, mobile ride all over the reef, which means it gets access to new food sources. In fact, the anemones get to eat all the crab's leftovers. When the crab finds a piece of food, it will literally put one of its anemones down, pick up the food with its free claw, tear off a piece, and then, because it's a good partner, it will often use the food to dab its own anemones, letting them get a little snack before it picks it back up. This is already brilliant. But this is where the biology gets really weird. What happens if the crab loses one of its anemones in a fight? It doesn't go find a new one. That's too much work. It does something that sounds like science fiction. It takes its one remaining, precious anemone, and with its tiny claws, it rips it in half. It performs surgery on its own living weapon. Because anemones are so resilient, they don't die. They just regenerate. Over the next few days, each half regrows into a new, perfect clone. The crab has literally cloned its own weapon. And what if a boxer crab starts with 0 anemones? Researchers have observed it will find another boxer crab and mug it. It will start a fight, not to hurt the other crab, but to steal one of its anemones. If it succeeds, it scurries away, rips its new prize in half, and boom, it's back in business with a matching set. This is a tiny crab that has built its entire survival strategy around theft, kidnapping, and forced cloning. It's the ultimate example of evolutionary lateral thinking. Why spend millions of years developing your own venomous spines, electric shocks, or giant claws, when you can just steal someone else's? The boxer crab isn't a brawler. It's a tiny, armored thief, waving around two venomous pom-poms it ripped off a rock. And honestly, you have to respect the hustle. Thanks for watching.